Hello, welcome. How is everyone doing today? I'm just going live today. So I'm going live on a few different platforms here. And we'll be doing some sort of cadence here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be going live for about an hour and just kind of doing some readings and getting into the flow of whatever the energy is coming up for the week, what's going on for the collective. So we're just waiting to get up here live on a few of these platforms. And if I did it right, we'll be live here real shortly. So if you're watching it back on the replay, it's about it takes like a minute to get live on this. I'm on a platform that streams out to a couple different ones. So come on in. I'm feeling like a fiery type of, little bit of a, I don't want to say chaotic to throw that out there and to like manifest that, but I'm feeling a kind of fiery energy here. So I don't know if anyone is kind of feeling that too. Okay, cool. Looks like we're live. I'm it takes a little bit to get live here. And now I see that we're live. On one of the platforms. So hello, come on in. We're just getting things going. I'm going to start off with a collective reading here, and feel free to, chime in if that's kind of how you're feeling. Because I know this week we're in this eclipse portal. I believe that eclipse is tomorrow afternoon, and you could have been feeling this energy like a week or two ago. And so this is a time of transformation. When I say transformation, there's a lot of like endings and beginnings. So, and a lot of it's all connected. So what is ending is creating space for something new, right? So that's something that sometimes we hold on to a bit, right? And like what's keeping us back, and how do we move forward and into something new, right? So I don't know where you guys are from. So I'm just having people come in from a couple different platforms. Feel free to type in the chat where you're from. We're just getting going. We just started. We're not into anything really too deep yet. And I do have my dog is making his way in the room, so we'll see if he makes it all the way over here. He wants to join in the fun too. He wants to join in the readings today. But I don't know if you guys have that, where you ever have like everything's supposed to be going right, and then your dog comes in to just see what is happening in this room. So I see we just have a little chat here today. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Oh, wow. I love it. Oh, welcome. I'm in Arizona. So I'm loving like wherever people are from. I always get excited to see like if I haven't met you, or if I'm not familiar, if we haven't met at a show or something. It's awesome. So welcome from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay, so are you guys feeling the energy? Are you guys feeling the energy this week? Because I am. Oh, okay. Very cool. I love the sharing of the love here. I am loving it. Well, welcome. And thank you to Libby for sharing. So, very cool. Very cool. And how's everyone feeling? And if you don't want to, I know like it's personal, but I mean, even if you had like one word to describe the last like 2 to 3 weeks into this week, like, do you guys have any type of feeling towards it? Any type of, like, to me, I would just I kind of say like a little overwhelming. Like there's a lot of things that I know that I'm supposed to, that I have goals that I want to get to. And so for me, there's a lot of creating space around those new goals to allow those new goals coming. So it's a little bit of like, okay, well, I want to do everything. Like I have always been, that has always been one of my unhealthier aspects of like working, is like I want to do everything, I can do everything, and I do a lot of things really well, but then what about me? Right? What about my self-care? What about what's going on, and for me to actually have like a work-life balance? And so that has been the confines of like some of my core wounds there, connected to this this self-value and self-worth. So if I'm doing everything, even if it's like half or half-ass, or if it's like I don't get any time for myself, oh, that means like, you know, that means I'm really making it out here in the world. But meanwhile, the realistic part here is that I mean, my cup's not fully full and I'm not having a life balance here. What am I really working for? Right. So I could tell where the astrology was hitting in my houses, and like what really needed that balance there. Balance is the big word coming in here. So I don't know if you guys are feeling like this Libra, this eclipse coming up here in Libra is like, how do you bring balance into your life? Like, how do you hold it? How do you love it? How do you hold it within? How do you really manifest that with actions? Because it's one thing knowing that you have balance to kind of work out, and then it's another thing um, with actually moving into balance, right? I'm actually, because my dog keeps coming in and out, I'm going to close my door. So don't go away. It'll be real quick. Okay, I told you guys it'd be really quick. I have a golden retriever here that's just very curious on what is happening in this room. I have my sound bowl out too. And last time I did that, he fell asleep, so he loves it. And I don't want to be distracted by his cuteness. So, okay, so just going into the collective here, feel free to like, if anything's resonating with you, type that in the chat. But we'll start off with a collective here, and if you feel like you resonate with what I'm saying, feel free to kind of just say, hey, you want to do a reading right here this week. I'm doing free readings, and starting next week and the following weeks, we're gonna have some sort of fee there, just to kind of have that energy exchange. So if you aren't following me, give me a follow. That would be an awesome energy exchange. And if you are like what you're seeing, just hit that like button. That'll really help me too as well, kind of get some awareness out there. So I appreciate it, guys, as I just kind of pull out my cards. I have a couple different cards here, and I'm really being pulled to this angelic light work, which is a new deck for me. I'm just going to pull that out. I did not know I was going to pull this out, so I was not ready here today, but it's beautiful artwork here, guys. Like, I can't even, just the energy and the frequency and the resonance in these cards. And they have to do with a lot of healing and angelic healing. So, and it really makes sense with just kind of what's happening right now. So let me see here. So just going into that collective here, what is it for the people that are here, or for people that are coming back, that are rewatching here? Uh, I'm just hearing fun. I don't know if you guys are looking into, let's see here, pulling out this card. I'm feeling more fun. Recovery into grace here. I just love these cards. It kind of reminds me of the other cards that I have, which I think I'll pull out real shortly. I feel like there's this connection to, well, I mean, it's all on the card, right? Recovery to grace. This is a period of like giving yourself, right? Literally giving yourself grace. But how does that work? How do we do that? How do we fully step into that? Because let's get a little bit deeper into the collective here. There's a lot of people who are for sure on the spiritual and healing journey here, and it feels like this piece of like imbalance is what I'm hearing. This piece of being very imbalanced is like coming forward. And like, I just feel like something got dropped in. Like I just like feel like there's literally a bag of something and it just like got dropped in out of nowhere. And it's like finally like, well, if I don't listen, I feel like my health might deteriorate. I feel like, and that could even be like mental health, right? Like physical, mental health, that if I don't listen to myself and my body, what it's saying, that this is it, right? And I'm hearing about like choices here. Let me just go in a little bit deeper. I'm going to pull another card here, actually. Hearing about, and just from my knowledge here of the eclipse, so I'll preface it with that, and like being in Libra. So eclipses are very energetically charging times around relationships. So all kinds of relationships, family, spouse, friends. And so there's a lot of like fear, and it could even be like some fear on like people that might be watching this back or the collective here, that it's like, well, what's happening with this relationship? Is it leaving for good? Is it moving out? And we might be like holding on, when meanwhile what is coming in is actually an opportunity to like dismantle old mindsets and beliefs connected to how we work in those relationships, right? So if I'm looking at like that, say like balance and like boundaries, and say it's like work relationships or like that relationship with work, right? Me stepping into this different way of approaching work and this different way of looking at it, like the best opportunities are going to come in when I have actually space that is created by my boundaries to say, you know what, this doesn't feel aligned, I'm not going to do this. This doesn't feel aligned, I'm not going to do this. So therefore I'm creating space for more abundance to come in, right? So I'm changing that mindset with that relationship. Now that's with work, right? But if it's like something with like friends or something, or if it's like with a spouse, and maybe one of the things coming up is like abandonment. Like if there's any type of emotional abandonment or physical abandonment connected to like some of the traumas or things that we've gone through in the past, how are we creating that are we creating that dynamic unintentionally today in our relationship? So if someone says to me where they're creating a boundary, right? If they're saying, hey, I need some space to kind of think about what, like some of the things that we talked about, maybe it was an argument. And so that space is actually really healthy, and that's what someone else might need. But someone else might be feeling into those like emotional or physical abandonment traumas, right? And issues that are from the past, and might kind of feel like, well, they're actually going to keep pursuing and actually going to cross over boundaries to really kind of get the point across and make sure like, oh, we're good, right? When meanwhile, that's not what it's about. It's about that space. It's about honoring the boundaries, and then also creating those own boundaries within where, or even noticing that, hey, what I'm doing is actually acting out from a place of fear. And that with this coming up here, so there's like a big blow up, and that scenario unfolds, and then we step into, hey, that's not cool, right? You're overstepping the boundaries. It becomes a big argument, and this is the time where you can look at, where did everything stem from? Yes, maybe there's argument, maybe there were things said, but what was like the deep side of what was going on there, so that we can step into something new. So this eclipse season, this eclipse portal is bringing up a lot of unconscious and subconscious things that we haven't thought about for a while, but it's actually what we do. This is not something that's new. It's just the universe is orchestrating ways to kind of making more well known, so that we can choose to step into something new. We can choose to dismantle those beliefs and not give it action anymore. And now it's in our conscious mind, and now we're saying, oh, like this is where these things are coming from. So I'm not sure if that's resonating with anyone. I know that's, kind of getting into some things that are personal, but it really does feel like there are some people that need to hear a little bit of that. So you could be on either side of the coin, right? You could be on the side of the coin where you're creating the boundaries that are not being honored, or you are not honoring the boundaries. And like, where is that coming from? What is the need to step over something that's a boundary? Or no one has any boundaries. And this is a huge opportunity for someone to say, hey, actually, I'm realizing that this dynamic of these patterns and these things that we're doing is not benefiting anyone. So this is actually the optimal time to go really deep within to see what is it that we are doing and we are contributing to the situation, and how are we dismantling it, and how are we working together now moving forward with these relationships in a new way, right? So the ending was the old beliefs and the old ways of doing things, and then navigating into the new, right? This new way of being, this communicating, this understanding of like, well, I actually didn't have any boundaries, or we didn't have any. So like, this is it now. Right. And that's the big thing that I'm getting as well, with the collective here, is like, especially around boundaries. This has been a big theme, but as I'm kind of tapping in here, it just feels like any personal boundaries are very little, sometimes maybe non-existent. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed or overworked, or maybe even underappreciated, I just heard, what is it that you are not contributing to creating that balance, so that people are seeing your boundaries? And then it's also a big thing, as I just heard, enforce. It's one thing of saying, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need, and like, I need someone to respect it. But it's also our job to enforce those boundaries. It is, right, someone else's job to honor and see that too. But if we're talking about patterns that, especially like in some sort of relationship dynamic, if say these things have been ongoing for years or decades or however long, those, yes, there's a boundary now and we should honor it, but like, we've been doing the same patterns for a while, right? And so it takes a little bit of time to like create that habit, and to like get into that habit and be that habit, that new habit. So that's something that's really, really important to kind of say, like, if you're seeing something's not being honored, like, that's for you, and that's that next step. And obviously there could get to a point where it just is not, it's not working anymore, and that's completely the next step there. And but if someone doesn't know you have a boundary, I always say, like, you can't blame someone. Maybe you think that should be obvious, but sometimes it's not. So sometimes it's not obvious. So let me just pull in another card here. Okay. And I love that this card came out. Oh my gosh. It's safe shelter here. It just, to me, it reads boundaries all over. um there is an aspect connected to people's root chakras here. So there's an aspect of this eclipse looking at people's safety and security, and like any of like the unresolved or just like deeper layers of those aspects. Does like the insecurities or the aspects of us not feeling safe. There's something that's also wanting to come through here. There's an aspect of if someone is searching, this is relating to someone who's searching for someone new, or you could be, if this resonates with in a existing relationship, but there's something here about how someone may be approaching the aspect of wanting a partner, or friends, or they're wanting to feel safe. They want that person to provide safety, and not that that isn't like a important aspect. What I'm hearing is that this safety within you is like the number one priority here. So if we're not feeling safe within our own body or our own being and our own mind, and if there's things that are coming up, sometimes we can create situations that mirror that unsafetyness, right? It's not intentional. It's not saying I'm going to put myself in like a situation that is harm, right? And that's probably not the scenario here. It's more of like trying to think of something that might come through. Yeah, I can't think of something right now, but it's definitely related here, where there's like creating that safetyness within us, that being like the pivotal point of being safe here within our being, and like our external world will start to reflect that. We'll start to act and do things that are more reflective of that, and that's really important here. I'm gonna pull one more card from this deck. And feel free to, if you guys want to ask if you guys have any questions here, if you guys want any readings here as well, feel free to type that in the chat here, as I'm just going to open up the space a little bit more, and I'm just feeling I'm feeling a lot in that crown chakra here area. So let me just, all right. Whew. I'm feeling a lot in that crown chakra. So if you guys will just actually ground in a little bit here. And just close your eyes for me, actually. And just start to visualize some roots at the bottom of your feet. Just going deep into the ground here. Just start to see that energy from that mind in your head. Just start to slowly go down the body. And just visualize that going deep into the earth here, and just focus your breath on the feet, on the roots, and just give a few breaths here. And go back up to that head space and just visualize this white light coming down from your head all the way down to your toes, but filling up that body, every inch of that body here. And just visualize that here for a moment. Dropping that down into the roots here. Down deep into the earth. Just have that go a little bit deeper into the core of the earth or into the spot you find the best. Just drop any thoughts from today and yesterday or tomorrow down deeper into the core of the earth. Visualizing that white light now burst out of your body, down into the roots, into the core of the earth. And then have the top of your head as well burst, reaching out, lots of white light just bursting out there, reaching out into the cosmos. Awesome. Just know as this white light is flowing that you are balanced within it. Awesome. Just come back to the room here, guys. So open your eyes when you are ready. Awesome. All right, welcome back. And hope that felt good. It was just kind of impromptu here. All right, Libby. See, you would like a reading. Sounds good. What is there a specific question? You just want me to pull some cards? See where it goes. Let me know. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I see you too, Tracy. We'll just give it a few minutes here. Okay, I'm being pulled to this deck here, which is like a very old deck for me. I think it is like one of my first decks for some reason. I was feeling nostalgic today, so it's a goddess deck. So let's see what comes out here. I'm also in my own Akashic, so I'm in this like higher vibration. I'm in this aspect of the Book of Truth as well. So any additional higher knowledge will drop in and channel in as well. So just see what cards are coming out here. Okay. All right. Just seeing what they. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. They're good cards. They're good cards. I'm just gonna pull a few more. So I had hello Miko. Hi. We're just doing some readings here. We have a couple people here. So all right, I have here Goddess of Inspiration and Needs and Enlightenment here. When I connect to it, well, first I have a little, when I connect to your energy, I have a little indigestion here. The big message coming through is on like what action items I'm hearing. What action items are you taking that is like actually coming from inspiration, and what is it that you're doing that is coming from this source of I gotta do. Like it's kind of like that type of feeling. And when you step into like this space of flow, everything will come in and align, in balance here. The big thing that I'm hearing is there's a difference here between like what you want, what you need, and what you think you need. Um, just remember, like within as you know, within like a spiritual journey and a spiritual like awakening, that um, what we think we need is not always what we need. So that I'm hearing about opportunities here to reassess like aspects within your life. I'm hearing about like career. I just heard that word career pop in, where it's like flowing into that. There's an aspect of like providing, like there's an aspect of like providing more for your family. But it's like coming from this innate kind of survival aspect of, right, like this, right, if you look at society and like, oh, we have to, right, do this because we got to take care of all these things, right there, like there's this kind of a lot of that coming up, feelings of that, where I'm hearing about like there's other areas of your needs that are important to feel like they're fulfilled, right? Yeah. No, I know. And I know that's a big thing that's been coming up for you. Um the enlightenment card that came up, it feels like, yeah. Yeah, it really feels like between the two there that you have like there's an aspect of what you're used to doing, and that is, I don't know how long you've been doing the spiritual work and not doing in the real estate, but it just feels like the spiritual work, there's something there. There's a new aspect, a new element of maybe like stepping into that like full time, and how that might, like, I'm just hearing in my like head like how would that look? How would this, look if I step into it? I know if I don't know if you're having any concerns of people judging you too on that as well. There's a huge opportunity for, there's this enlightenment card, man, is really getting me, because I just see so much channeling through, and not that you can't use that for real estate, just beyond maybe my knowledge of that, of what that entails and stuff, but this like channeling that wants to come through, it's like I kind of feel like I'm stopping it, because I'm I'm not taking steps in that direction. It's like, because I'm still in between here. Let me just pull, actually, I'm gonna pull this other deck here too. Just give you another card or two here. Yeah, and it's not that I just saw you laughing too. It's not that you wouldn't enjoy like the real estate. I kind of feel like you would enjoy doing anything. I'm not gonna lie. Like you would just kind of be like, I'm having fun. I'm around people. I'm being myself. It's like this connection to purpose, and like this higher self dropping in more and more and more, and just kind of like I kind of get the sense of like purpose, and how do I step, like what is my purpose? I just heard. I don't know if you asked that question. um yeah. Okay. Okay, so I actually pulled three cards. Pleading, activation, harmony in the heavens, resolution. Um there's actually just a ton of energy coming through right now to your crown chakra. I don't know if you feel it, but it's dropping in here and it's helping. I felt like there's a little worry, maybe anxiety in that space. And I don't want to put there's just a lot going on that now it's kind of dissolving. The big thing I want to call out with this is this card here. What my eyes went to first was answer the call. Yeah, you do feel it. Yeah. We had a lot of we had some light beings come in to just dissolve that fear. So that you can really hear yourself, because I can sit here and tell you what feels right, but it's like it's about you hearing yourself and you then stepping in to that area, because you're the only one that's going to step into that new space. So I just answer the call is really big on here. And then this is funny, I have to, just because I have to share this crown chakra upgrade. You're ready channeling. You're the only person that's in the way of like that flowing more. Yeah, I don't know if you're saying, oh my God, to the crown chakra upgrade, but yeah, there's a lot here. Divine connections, miraculous energy. Like you're ready. It's just validating, like you're ready channeling. It's just, I feel like I keep thinking about my purpose a bit and like, where is it? And like part of that, there's a little bit of fear around that. And then like, well, let me just step into it. Yeah, you're laughing at, yes, crown upgrade. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit of what I'm getting for you here. And yeah, I don't know if that, hopefully that helps and makes sense. But the big thing I'm hearing is like you're the one that needs to kind of listen and hear and feel all of this, and then that's when you act from that. Instead of, so what happened is the energy just kind of dissolved and moved through a lot of that fear, right? So then that's when you're in these moments of feeling present, this is when you make those decisions, right? So hopefully that makes sense for you. Just a little mini one right there. Okay. So we have you, Tracy, if you're still here. Yeah, absolutely. Tracy, if you are still here, just put a comment there. Let me know you're still here. And if people are able to, just hit that like button if you are liking what you are seeing. All of the likes help. Let me just see here. And then waiting for you, Tracy, here. Okay. Perfect. I just saw your question there. All right. Okay. Perfect. Good to hear. You just have a card just flew out. I'm just going to see if I get a lot of any other cards here. I'm not sure if you get any like headaches in this area. I just kind of felt that coming in as I'm just feeling your energy, but let me just keep going here. Okay. Let me just clarify the card that flew out here. The card that flew out says it is what it is. Let me just see. There's this door on it. Let me show you. Okay, you do. Yeah. There's just There's a lot of energy there that's a little bit deeper. As I channel and I just kind of things come out in this this reading, you could feel that ease up, but um there's what I'm just hearing is like just kind of like blocked energy in that space. So you can just kind of I don't know if you were, yeah, I believe you were here in the beginning when we were just moving that energy through with the white light, and then just kind of dissolving and moving that down. But it's like it is connected to your question here with like looking and manifesting the relationship you want. And I love that you're doing, you've done a lot of healing work too, because you can be more when we do that, we're more consciously aware of like when things happen, like, oh, this is something that's old that's coming up, right? So that's the beauty of all the healing work. The healing work always continuous. um but there's a lot of energy there to connected to your thoughts, or kind of connecting to manifesting the relationship you want here. So I have this door here in this um in this card, and I just pulled another one. In perfect harmony. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like music and in perfect harmony. And it really feels like um I'm hearing about like harmony within you. I'm feeling your heart, the heart space too. It feels like it could be either like nervousness or like anxiety, or even like a feeling of being burnt. Um there's I feel like there are some things connected here to like your family dynamic here too, that I know we're talking about like the relationship you want, right? But if we're looking at like the things that we're looking to manifest in, like what is in the way? Where's your question, right? Of manifesting that. There are some mindsets connected to family dynamic and from when you were younger, that is coming up here, and it's like kind of like a little bit of a burn on the heart. um and he, and I'm kind of hearing a little bit of like kind of this like emotional, it might be some emotional abandonment here, just kind of going deeper into a little bit of shadow work with that. And I'm sure it sounds like you said you've done a lot of healing work. If there are things that have come up in this like last few weeks and this next week, that have come up to the surface, use that as a way to kind of channel to go deeper into that shadow work, to go deeper into like other aspects or different layers of your subconscious that wants to like kind of be revealed and then move through. Yeah, it sounds like you good. It sounds like you do the shadow work. The other thing I wanted to mention too, I have this I have a couple cards here. I have the spirit of gratitude, and sorry if that card looks kind of weird when you see it. Waking the lying, and a burst of magic here. Okay. So the big thing here is I'm hearing about shifting the energy when you are working on the manifesting. And that comes in like appreciation. So I don't know how like your like how you I don't know if you consciously manifest. I don't know if you go in and you have any types of things that you do and that you visualize. I'm hearing you call in and claim in what it is that you're looking for in that partner, in that relationship. And even just spending a few minutes on it each day, and you don't have to every day, but like there's an aspect of like what is it that you really want, and like shifting that energy and like claiming it in. I don't know if you do breath work either. I'm just seeing you do breath work and get more into this flow. Okay, so when you're more into this flow and you're more into like actually in your nervous system is like calm and resets, and you are in your body, then I just hear you claiming. You do love breath work. Okay, cool. Because I see you doing, I see the like the breath work there, right? Um, And I know, I think there's a couple of different kinds of breath work. It's like just something that you do for like 5 minutes. You get into that flow, you reset, and that's when you claim and you call it in. And I'm hearing not to be too specific. So I don't know if you have like things that you're like on your checklist that you're like, there are things to maybe I just heard like reassess what you're maybe want to claim and call in and what are the important things, and like just make sure that that aligns with who you are and that you really want it, because a lot of times people don't talk about this a lot, but when we're looking to manifest and call something in, we're calling something in because we think we want it, right? So when you do the breath work, you, what I'm even hearing too is you could even have like a little bit of a foundational, like before you start to really like claim and call things in, you start to allow your subconscious and your flow to describe what it is that you want in that conscious partner. So you might have like, say like you may be recording your voice and you may say, oh, okay, you're doing the breath work, and then you start to say, I want this in a partnership. I want this in a partnership. Like just let it flow from that, like from that nervous system that's calm and in your body. And then re-listen back to your replay, because I think you might be a little like shocked on some things that came through. Yeah, it's like it's being in that flow, right? Of like, here, this is what we want. And sometimes things don't manifest, or they don't manifest as quickly because it's like, well, I thought I wanted like, to do this job, and this is the job that I was trying to call in, and I was trying to call that in for like 6 months. And then I finally went into I finally like surrendered to, no, you know what, I'm going to go into my business full time. And once I did that, well, we'll just say within a few months, the universe ended my job and I was fully supported. So I was going against the grain. I was like, I thought this is what I wanted because I'm so successful with it. Like, oh, I'm not going to be doing this full time. This is just right. So it's getting in that flow and connecting to who we are. So that energy there is going to be really important. And this aspect here of waking the lion, honestly, like it really connects to like this fiery, like letting that subconscious flow like out, right? So that breath work, I don't know if you do breath of fire either, for breath work, but that kind of, I heard that. So that flow, letting all that out, letting that inner strength come out, and then saying, okay, now this is what I claim. So you can do it in 2 different sessions. So you can just kind of maybe hear what you're saying when you're in the flow. And then now, okay, this is what I'm really looking for in a partner. And now you claim that. So you can visualize around that, and you can like spend time on like, well, what is it within you that also needs to clear out to attract that in? So say it's someone who like, just say it's someone who openly expresses about their passion with intuition and like, right, or whatever. And I say that because that's like an aspect of me, like personally, I'm someone who I flow into my intuition, I express it, I talk about it, I come from that space. And so that might be something that's important, but maybe I wasn't doing that. Maybe I wasn't speaking from that space of passion and letting that flow out. So I actually go back and forth between, this is what I'm claiming, but like, oh wait, this is what I am too, right? I am someone who expresses openly and lovingly, right? Or whatever it might be. So it might not pertain to everything that you're looking to call in, but always look at within you where your vibration is at and claim that for yourself as well. So let me see if there's anything else here. Okay. I'm not getting anything else for you. Hopefully that helped. hopefully that helped. And okay, here. Ooh, all right, guys. I actually have like literally 3% left on my battery. I know there's a Miko. I see your question there. If you are still here, you can put a yes, and I will go plug in my battery. If you just give me 1 minute, I know I may lose some of you people, but if you're still here, Miko, I will do a reading for you. Just let me go plug in my battery. All right. Okay, you are still here. And we gained one more person while there was no one sitting here. If you guys are new here, give me a follow, subscribe, hit that like button. I'm just doing some readings here. And okay. So we have here Miko. So I have your question. Okay. And I am just starting to get some information with what you put in the chat there. I assume, I just want to make sure that there's some stuff connected to spirituality here. Okay, I'm gonna pull this deck here. I just feel like there's something here. All is fine. I'm glad that all is fine. Are you okay? Are you getting are you hearing any like language in your mind? Is there like something, because I'm hearing light language come through for you? I'm hearing just this like kind of flow of light language coming through in my head. So okay. Fun and scary. Okay. Okay. So let me just tap in, go a little bit deeper here. Yeah, it's connecting to your so I'm getting a couple things here. I'm getting that your heart is expanding. The healing journey that you're on, you feel more than you can hear. Okay. No worries. Yeah, and so when light language comes through, actually, people can do, I'm going to go with that route because that is what I'm hearing come through, and I hear and feel that like language channeling through. So people so light language is just energy, it's just all energy. There's it's light language is connection to channeling energy. That's all us. It's us outside of trauma, right? It's this frequency connected to source. Sometimes light language can be connected to different beings and channeling with different beings and different light beings, benevolent beings. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. And so you might feel like I kind of feel some stuff on my fingers here. Like it's more on my left hand, but that doesn't mean it's not on both hands. But it's like kind of like the energy feels like like my fingers and hands are kind of numb, and it's because I really need to be moving my hands. So and I don't know if you ever caught it in any of my lives, but if I'm channeling in light language, sometimes I'll speak it, and sometimes I'll kind of just sign it. And everyone is different. However they come out. Some people, they'll draw it as well. So if you ever see a symbol in your head, and it was just like, that was random. Why did I just see that symbol? Like it's energy. And so when we draw, I don't know if you're left-handed, maybe that's why that's coming up. When you draw that out, then that energy is channeling. So we can channel in so many different dimensions and aspects. And so to me, I'm hearing the light language, which is kind of like, does that, however it comes to you. Something has been tickling in your left hand the last 3 days. Okay. To me, it feels like it's like, kind of feels like, when you you sit in a weird way and you sit on your leg, and then like you're like there for a while and it needs to move, and then you start to get kind of like the sleepy leg. It kind of feels like that on my hand. So it just feels like I just want to move, like I just want to move it out, right? Are you left-handed? I just want to know, because it could be you actually drawing it out. I'll just wait for you there. I'm pulling a couple of cards here too. I want to see what you say first, because I love the cards that came through. Oh my gosh. So are you left-handed? No. Okay. Okay. No worries. So yeah, then to me is, it's energy that's flowing through you. Your right hand. No worries. No worries. So what I would do there is just go ahead and, in some sort of meditative space, in a space where you can have no interruption, feel free to put on music or whatever. I'm actually seeing you dance, and I'm seeing you move your hands. Okay. So this is, however you want to move them, right? Maybe you do move the fingers a little bit, like as you kind of go, right? Just kind of however you want them to flow when you are in that state. So it's getting you into that flow state, but it's moving that energy. And it's a little bit of there can be connection to sometimes fear when people start to channel light language, because if you're hearing it, at least you're just like, it's like, is this like made up? Like, am I making this up? Am I really hearing this language, right? But if it's just if it's coming from the hand space, and if you don't currently do anything with energy work, if you weren't attuned to energy or anything like that, it doesn't mean that you aren't attuned, because, right, you're attuned. Like essentially you have energy coming through, and so that's you reaching that vibration, and that's you being attuned. And it's now just kind of being in that flow and letting that flow out. That's what they're telling me. I also have a couple things here. There's a lot with your heart. So if you can, I don't know if you can read that, but it's basically, if you want to look at the pictures, what's beautiful here. And so it's Stargate heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity. And then, of course, the next card was higher heart activation, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. And then there's another card that I'll get to, but I want to just stop there at those points there, because to me, what I'm hearing about is your healing journey and all the steps that you have been taking to release is now you're stepping into that higher vibration. And now, because you're stepping into that higher vibration, you have more space for more space for this higher connection to come in and channel through, right? And then this, to me, is what's confirming what's happening to you. And you probably can't read that there, so that's okay. But that's Hathor, light codes. And that's light immersion, full system upgrade, power recall. But what I love is that it says light codes, literally. And so that's flowing down to me. It's like it's flowing down. This energy is all flowing down and into you. And it just feels like that energy is stuck and wants to flow. So definitely let that flow, let everything flow there so that you can step into the next phase of whatever is coming. Which does feel like new elements of healing here too. So it definitely feels like new layers of healing, new aspects to your spiritual and healing journey here. And yeah, it feels really beautiful. It's no surprise that you joined the live. I know you've been I think you made it to one of the other lives, but it's no shock here that you've just kind of you're having that support kind of surround you. And what I'm hearing is to make sure that then you're supporting yourself in what's coming up. So you're listening to your body. You can, and I just see you too, like speaking to your body, just kind of gently, just saying, okay, what is it that you want to tell me? What is it here that you have for me? Right. So, yeah, keep that in mind. I don't know if you are attuned to anything. I was just hearing something come up here about angels. So I don't know if you have any affinity to angels here, or if you have anything with them in the past that's happened. So I do a couple things here. Feel free to check out my site. I think you did subscribe, but if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, I have a couple things. I have attunements as well. And so if you feel like you need any support in your journey, feel free to book any private stuff, any private sessions, or any of the attunements as well. I have group attunements going on for angelic, and then I have attunements for aqualorian light being attunements, which is just kind of connecting more and more to our higher self and dropping into that, clearing more out, allowing us to step into, who we truly are. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but yeah, it feels really good. It feels like your journey's, I just heard like just beginning. So I don't know if you just started, but it's this new chapter is just beginning. So hopefully that helps. I am in a class and we called in Sandalphon. I actually don't know what that is. I just looked it up. Oh, is an archangel. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I just heard angels with you, and I don't get that with I mean, I do see that with a lot of people now more than ever, because usually people that are coming to me, they don't know why they're coming to me. And so I just started, I'm doing group attunements. I think I'm actually going to add personal one-on-one attunements since there's so many people, but that vibration of people who usually they're drawn to someone for a reason is because they're stepping into this new essence of being. So it's actually kind of awesome. So if you feel called to it, definitely, I will add on personal one-on-one for the attunements as well. If that's of interest, we are currently doing the attunements, a group live on Fridays, and we're on the third attunement, but that's all good for this Friday, but it's all good because you can still catch up and still join the lives or just do it at your pace. So, hey, Jessica, how's it going? I love it here, guys. This energy is awesome. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, guys. I am going to do one more reading if we have before I sign off, or I'll do collective if no one has, just kind of end it for the day if no one has any questions. So if you do, or if you're just like, you want a general one, let me know, and I would be more than happy to. So yeah, welcome. Hit that like button, guys. And I'm feeling the energy in my solar plexus here for a quick minute. I love it when people meet. Yeah. Yeah, I can do general message. Yep, I can do a general message. So if that's what you want, let me know. Just, yeah. Awesome. That would, yeah, not a problem. If you guys aren't following me or subscribe to my channel, just as an energy exchange, I would appreciate that. Just to hit that subscribe button. I was supposed to have a podcast episode coming out last week, but it did not make it, and giving myself grace, right? Just like that card that came out in the beginning. It was like grace, just so much happening. And so I have a new my podcast is coming up and starting up again. It's on spirituality and healing. So if you are on Facebook and you're like, what is she talking about? On my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@myawakeningwithin. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications. So when my podcast goes live this week, when my episode comes out, and you can check it out. It's on spiritual awakenings. It's on spiritual awakenings. So like, are you having an awakening, right? And just a little bit more of my story. So awesome. Thank you, Jessica. All right, so let's go into the energy here. I super appreciate it. And just let me see. So for Jessica's highest good, I pulled in this deck here. Pulled in this other deck here. I'm feeling like I'm feeling some buzzing. Like it's kind of just like tickling my forehead area. Definitely some opening there. Let me see. Ooh. Okay. So I don't know if you do this work. It feels like you do, because I can feel that like that space and that third eye is just actually like kind of expansive. Or if you don't do this for like full time or anything, but you like feel like you're really connected, because I have some interesting things coming up. So I have these light beings here. So it feels like you're connecting to higher vibrational benevolent beings. So if you're not consciously aware of it yet, it's coming. That's what I heard them say. I heard it's coming. And so just to continue again, sensitivity. Okay. So again, I don't know if you do this, but it's funny when the cards come out that you pull for yourself. Yeah. And that's okay. And I don't know. I don't know if you've ever considered kind of getting into this space, but like you have, I don't know what your feelings are with ET, with or interdimensional beings, but like there are higher vibrational beings that you're connecting to. and that they want to work with you. So when you like meditate, and when I say work with you, is like they could be working on you and your body and like helping you to self-heal, right? Or you're self-healing, but you're kind of using and kind of being that conduit to channel in higher vibrational energy, or connect to higher dimensional realms. So I don't know kind of where you are on your journey and kind of how things, what your understanding of things are. And so the big thing I get here is like just kind of solidify is this expansion. The big thing here is this aspect of this star here. To me, I'm getting Merkaba. It's like your Merkaba is your light body. It's just like we have our physical body, but we have like we're light, or essentially we're basically composed of like, not basically, but we're composed of like light and love, and unconditional love, right? And then we drop into this physical body and we experience things here on the physical plane. And I'm hearing about whatever it is that you're doing now, like that light body is expanding. It's evolving. It's dropping in. Yeah. And it's all good because I feel your third eye buzzing when you say that too. Um, so I'm hearing about this expansion here with your light body. And when I connect to that, like my solar plexus just kind of starts to get a little, it starts to kind of swirl the other way and like feel like it's a little not as comfortable with some of the things here. I don't know if you ever have any gut issues, but there's like an aspect of like your power and like you claiming your power, and just like it's all innately within you, right? We all have these abilities to connect in, and we do it, and sometimes we're not as aware as like we're just so connected that we're stepping into what is aligned for us, and we're just taking those steps effortlessly. And that's kind of how I feel like it is for you. And just kind of taking those like one by one those steps effortlessly. But it's like calling in and claiming that power, because as I say that, I feel my solar plexus kind of just bubbling up a little bit more. And so there are definitely some opportunities here to like look at the areas in your life in which you are giving away your power. When I say giving away your power, it just means like your attention is to that situation. Your attention could be to that situation, that person, that place. And I just heard forgiveness kind of flow in too. So there could be something around forgiveness, maybe someone you haven't forgiven at this time. And, I know we're on this journey of healing, so that could pertain to like a lot of people, but it's like when I think about that person, and if I'm like angry, that's okay. We want to feel and process those emotions. But at the same time, the more that I'm not processing them, and the more that I think, I go into this cycle of like my energy and my attention's over there, and that's essentially my power, right? That's all that really means. And yeah. And I feel that too. And I feel like that's why that's coming up in this reading, is that you're, when I connect into like all these things that I can do, right? Like in your energy, like if I'm like, oh, I can do all these things, my solar plexus, like that confidence, that power kind of like spirals a little bit. So there's definitely some deeper aspects there. And I see you put here, I don't think I am fully aware of that connection there. Okay. Yeah, and that's okay too, cuz like that's part of the journey, is like where I don't know if you do anything where you practice with other people, and sometimes that's when um even if you were to just do it a couple times just to validate that like you're not making it up. Yes, when we start this journey and we start to pull cards for ourselves, we're like, okay, like I get it, like this is the message that's coming through. But when you step into a space of like working with someone else and you're like, all right, let me just pull a couple of cards for you, see what I get through, see what messages come through, and that validation out loud solidifies like, oh, I am really intuitive and connected. Or just like understanding how that information is processed. So that's at least what's coming up for you, is that opportunity to practice and step into that intuition more. Because when we're in that space and we're more connected consciously, because for you, you're saying you're not as aware of like some of the connection to the higher vibrational beings, the light beings, right? The more we step into intuition and like that for ourselves, that's how we can discern our energy from others. So the big thing on practice is really coming through for you. So yeah, I'm not sure if that resonates, but hopefully, I'm actually going to pull one up. Where did I put the deck? If I can find the deck, I will pull the deck. Or maybe it wasn't meant to be. Nope. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Sorry about that. All right. I'm just going to pull one more card here for you. And if you guys are just new coming on, I'm just doing some readings. So if you want a reading here, just pull one more card. Give it a subscribe. Hit that like button. Yeah, I love it. I'm just going to pull one more card for you here. Let me see. Oh. All right. So just that plating activation. There's energy coming through for you right now. So I can feel that in my head there. So there's energy just kind of moving through that crown and that third eye space to just drop in. Yeah. And actually what I'm hearing about, I don't know if you're feeling it, but what I'm hearing is like for you to feel this energy here coming through as like just an opportunity to discern what's you and what's not. So that's part of the teaching here coming through. And I just feel that. I feel a little bit of that solar plexus too. So just drop into your heart space and just kind of be in a space of receiving here. Just going to be in that flow of your heart. Just allow that energy to flow through. I just feel that solar plexus just kind of easing up there. So that feels good there. Yeah. You absolutely will become more conscious of it. The more that we do meditate and become aware of our own energy, and this is for anyone too that's kind of watching it. When we go into meditation, sometimes we have expectations. So what I'm hearing about is connecting to you is like and then anyone else too as well, if this resonates, it's like drop into just being, having no expectations and just allowing whatever is to just come in and just to receive. So sometimes we go into meditation in those spaces and we're like, okay, we want to learn this, we want to do this, we want to, understand this. And there's a lot there. The intention is to have no intention. And so, yeah, absolutely. Very much, very much not a problem. The intention sometimes when we go into that altered state is to not have an intention. And so we can start to discern our own energy. So what it's called is sitting in the power, right? So we're sitting in our energy. We're understanding it. Right. So we're just sitting there, even if it's just for a few minutes. Right. Sometimes you go into meditating and we're like, oh, I want to connect to my guides. I want to release everything that's happened to me today. And that's all perfect and beautiful and like always can be continued. But when you go in, you're just like, all right, I'm going in, I'm going to be me. Your energy comes up, and believe it or not, when you don't have an intention, everything that is not you clears out. So it actually does all the same things, but you're in your energy and you could feel that, right? So that's what I started doing when I first started meditating. I started going to psychic and mediumship development classes, and then I heard about this sitting in the power, and I was like, what is this sitting in the power? And so in class, we would sit in group together for 5 minutes, let's say, and it was like, we're just gonna sit here, guys. And we would sit there, and the time was like you lose track of time, as you always do when you go into meditate, but it's no expectations. It's like, oh, this is what I feel like. Once I'm out of it, I'm like, oh, this is what I feel like. This is awesome. This is now I start to understand what it feels like when I have loved ones come through, right? Which happened to mediumship. This is what it feels like when there's maybe someone else's energy in my field, right? Like, as a lot of people are empaths, and a lot of people can feel other people and their presence and their energy. And for me, I felt a lot of pains in my body when I first started. And so the more that I started to practice, I started to realize that most of everyone's stuff I was feeling. So, so I was able to work on that by doing just these little things, right? So, let's see if there's anything else. I'm gonna pull a card or two, just to give out if there's anyone new here, but give another message or two here. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. I would so appreciate it. Hit that follow button as well. Let me see. I just have one other thing coming through. Okay. Of course, I'm gonna pull two cards to kind of clarify. Okay, so the big thing coming through for you guys, yeah, I'm so glad it's helpful. The big thing coming through for you guys, right? Healing, right? And nourish. Okay. This is huge for this week. So if all else, if between all of the kind of what can feel like chaotic energy in this eclipse season, just embrace yourself. Give yourself time. Know that when you are nourishing your body, when you are putting things into your body that is fueling it, right? We have the physical body, and what's at least coming through what I'm hearing about is that gut and brain connection. So whatever we are putting in is going to impact, right, our brain, like how our gut feels there. So you have the ability to impact what's going on more. So let that be something that just kind of flows through. Allow and nourishing your body too with like your content. So I'm hearing about like what you're consuming on all levels. So if you're consuming and binge watching like very sad, or like, I'm not saying you can't watch crime documentaries or movies or things like that, but there's something for someone here that it's relating to, or if someone's rewatching this back on the replays, that this aspect of what we're consuming right now is impacting how we are reacting as well. I'm even just hearing about the news as well. There's something with the news and like your nervous system, and just kind of like all the things that are just happening out there. It could be things relating to global news, politics, whatever it is. I'm getting this sense of the nervous system just kind of being a little like in this kind of like fight or flight, just kind of like a little bit extra, a little bit charged and amplified. So now is the time to nourish, right? This is such an opportunity where when you do that, then you're letting whatever else that wants to come through during this time, during this eclipse season, to come up, and you can really see it for what it is. Because if we're in 5 different directions here, we might miss it, right? The more we're present, the more that we're going to see it, the more it's going to be more conscious, or the more that we're going to be proactive. Because usually in this kind of eclipse time, things happen for us if we're not proactive. So we have been feeling something lately, maybe something we want to express, something that's been left unsaid, maybe certain boundaries we haven't implemented or that have been pushed over. Like, now is the time to express it and be proactive. And when we're not present, we're worried about all those other things, what's going on in the news, what's going on with, this crime show, what's going on with my body, right? If I'm feeling all these things, I'm not focused on me and what works best for me and expressing that in my relationships, whatever they are, family, spouse, friends. And so that presence is important right now. And the big thing that comes in is that healing. Right? So when we allow that presence to come in, that releasing to come in, we are going to step into like alignment and create space for whatever is new that is coming in, right? Because this time is transformational. This is about endings and beginnings, but I hear transformation. I hear releasing and stepping into what is actually in alignment and what feels connected to the soul. And part of that is also being present, because if we're present, we can hear what we truly want and step into that alignment, right? And I just heard pull one more. Let your light shine. So let your light shine here, guys. Let that be a good ending note for you on letting yourself connect and be present to that alignment and let that flourish. Know that if you have been questioning like what your purpose is or stuff like that, that's your soul awakening. That's your soul dropping in more and kind of like dropping in breadcrumbs to be like, okay, what we were doing does not feel good anymore. So now this is what I'm stepping into. So let that light shine more and more on those shadows. And I always say shadows are more of like the subconscious and the unconscious, the stuff, anything that maybe we've shoved down. And so the way that we let that light shine up, we're not going to remove, we're going to allow the light to shine on what we've repressed, allow that to release, right? Step into that healing and then step into the new and I'm hearing bold about it too, and confident, like what we're stepping into that and we feel connected to that. We don't feel like we're just doing another thing again. So, so hopefully that resonates. If you guys are still here and you've liked what has come out so far, hit that subscribe button. I will be going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time weekly. So this week I'm just kind of giving out some free readings. And so we'll move into something different in the future. I also have my website, which if I pull up, if it's still here, so my website is myawakeningwithin.com. And so check that out. Check out, I'm just kind of pulling that up here. So yeah, if you like what you have seen, check out my site so that if you're looking for something more personal and not on like a group setting, I do personal Akashic readings and healings. That's what people mainly come to me for. I also do group attunements. So I'm attuned to a couple different energies here. I do aquamarine crystalline light healing, as well as I channel in light language. But I was just out Mount Shasta May and August, and have become attuned and have been working with the Seraphim, which is the angelic realm. And so it's dropping into a higher consciousness. It's a ninth dimensional space, and it's just a higher consciousness. We're stepping into a space where we're releasing more and more of some of the aspects that who aren't us, and part of the earthly plane, and stepping more into this angelic essence. And how are we expressing that in this lifetime? So that I'm doing group attunements for that, which is kind of priced out on the site. And I'm also doing attunements for aquamarine light being attunements, and they're stepping into your soul, and you ride more with the wave than against it, which on this spiritual and healing journey, I can totally resonate with kind of riding against the wave for a little bit. And it feels like you can kind of course correct more and be more present and say, oh, you know what, this doesn't feel good, or oh, I see why this is coming in, and you do that more quickly. And so that's why it feels like you're going more on the wave than kind of against it. So check out all those things. I do everything remote as well. I'm in the local area, Arizona, but Phoenix Metro. But if you're not in the area, everything is done remote. If you have any questions, let me know. You can go on my site as well and subscribe to my newsletter. But if not, hit that subscribe on YouTube so that you get notifications when I go live or when my new podcast episode drops this week. So thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure. Oh, as always, and I will see you next time. All right, take care.